Welcome to the Rusted Garden. Today I want to talk about how you can use eggshells to prevent blossom end rot in your container plants. You can also use this in the garden, but container plants, especially tomatoes, are notorious for getting blossom end rot. Peppers can also get it. It also happens on peppers, and it can happen on other fruits and vegetables, but it's mainly your tomato plants, and oftentimes it's the Roma variety. But you can use eggshells, vinegar, and water to create a solution that you can use monthly to take care of blossom end rot in your tomato plants. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. Real quick, if you are saving eggshells, what I do, and you can see there's still some, dried egg on the inside, is I just crack them, stick them in the oven at 175 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 degrees. You don't want these to burn, they're going to smell bad. And keep them in there about 30 minutes. That will take care of any disease problems you're worried about. But what it really does is dry them out. Now, you can put eggshells right into your compost pile. Don't put them in like this. They're going to take way too long to decay. So if you're going to put them into your compost pile, break them down. When you break them down, you're increasing the surface area. Each break allows more bacteria and soil biology to get to the plants. And this will just break down quicker. So for your ground planted tomatoes, or your ground in general, if you're throwing eggshells regularly crushed up like this into your ground, you do it every year, you do it when you get eggshells, there's going to be plenty of calcium in your ground to take care of the needs of your plants. Calcium is a second level macronutrient. You have nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. That's the first level, the main level of macronutrients. And if you don't have enough nitrogen, phosphorus, or potassium, quickly you see problems in your plants. And then you get to sodium, calcium, sulfur, calcium, and magnesium. So break these down, crush them up like this, and these could go right into the compost pile. But if you're going to make the solution, you're going to need to grind them up. And you're going to grind them up because we're going to mix this with equal parts white vinegar, do a little bit of chemistry, and what happens is the acidic acid, white vinegar, mixes with the calcium carbonate in the eggshells. It reacts, and you free up calcium that is water soluble, which means when you pour it into your container plants, when you have plants that might be suffering from blossom end rot, you want water-soluble calcium to be ready, to be available to the plant so it can pull it right into the root system and take care of the needs of a calcium deficiency. And we'll talk more about that in a second. So, going to be noisy? Pulverize it. Going to turn it upside down. And now we have pulverized eggshell with some coffee grounds in there. Now, blossom end rot really happens for two reasons. It's either a lack of calcium in your container mix, and there's no calcium to get into the plant system, the tomato system. And again, remember, peppers can get it, other plants can get it. Or there's plenty of calcium there, but your plant can't access that. And when you're growing tomatoes in containers, if you let the container dry out completely, it damages the root system, it causes a problem, and now that tomato plant isn't going to be able to pull calcium into the system. It's going to have to recover. So make sure you consistently and evenly water your container plants and your vegetable garden too, because consistent watering can also help prevent blossom end rot. But because you don't know what the issue is, you can go ahead and do this once or twice a month. It's not going to harm your container plants. You take 1 tablespoon of the pulverized eggshell, and you're going to take 1 tablespoon of white vinegar, and you're just going to mix it together, and that will start to react. Now I'm going to do a whole do-it-yourself DIY series in 2018 and show you all kinds of recipes, and I'll show you the complete recipe. Sometimes I've done videos where I've started talking and talked about a couple of things, and then people are looking for the recipe. Well, we're going to do a new series, and I don't know, let's see if you can see it. It's starting to foam See if you can hear it. But it's starting to foam, and you would let this sit for 30 minutes. Let the calcium in the eggshell neutralize the vinegar, the acidity of the vinegar. It's going to react. It's going to create free calcium that your plant can pull into its root system right away. And what I would do is make a bunch of pulverized eggshell. Use white vinegar. It's really inexpensive. Just buy it in something like this. And that the day that you're going to water your plants with the calcium mixture, go ahead and make it up just like this. And it's still foaming. And again, let this sit for about 30 minutes. And the bigger chunks of eggshell will neutralize any excess vinegar. The really finely pulverized eggshell will be dissolved and broken down. And you can see that the bubbles are starting to stop. And then just pour it. Big chunks of eggshell in there too. Pour the whole solution in. And it's not like it's going to dissolve and disappear. You're just getting a little bit of calcium. Because it's a second level macronutrient, you don't need tons of calcium in there. So, put it all into there. I don't think that's going to fit. That's the vinegar lid, but whatever. Let's give it a shake. And then in a 5-gallon container, I would just give it a whole gallon's worth of 1 tablespoon. Really about once a month is perfectly fine. The larger pieces of eggshell will sit in the soil. It'll break down over time, so it's going to release calcium slowly. A little bit over the season, but it'll be there next year if you reuse your calcium or if you reuse your potting soil. But you're going to have free and available calcium in here because you added acid to this. And this is a great way to manage blossom end rot in your container gardens and to take care of your tomatoes. When would I start this? I would start this when the tomatoes are about this size, just start flowering before the fruits appear, because you want to make sure the calcium is there before the fruits start forming. And then just do that until your plant is done. You're not going to contaminate the soil with the vinegar. You're not going to change the pH with the eggshells and the calcium in the eggshells, because these two things are going to react, they're going to neutralize, you're going to mix it with water, and your plants will love you for helping it out this way. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please check out my channel and check out the playlists, because I'm going to have a complete do-it-yourself playlist this year with all kinds of garden recipes to help take care of your garden. Thanks for watching.